Week 16. We are here. Only one more week of the best ball season. Then we're heading to playoff best ball land. Good luck, everybody. Build and battle week 16. Welcome in, everyone. Having a good old time here. Let's put up the sub goal for 30 out of 50. 20 more subs to hit our goal. Hopefully we can hit that soon enough. Make sure to drop a sub if you're new. Appreciate that in advance. Going to work on some new thumbnail stuff and some new overlays. Probably going into next season, I'll probably just try to revamp everything because this is just my basic first year trying to get things off the ground floor. But we're going to do some content over the summer and over the off season, so don't expect me to go away. Obviously, the content might be a little bit slower in the off season, but it'll ramp back up, of course, and we'll be working on other stuff in the background, trying to get this stuff all ready to go. But there'll be drafts going on because pretty much right after the Super Bowl ends, there's opening drafts already. So yeah, we're not gonna stop the nonsense. So it's always gonna be fun. Always gonna be drafting. But yeah, let's hop into a couple BRs. Let's let's just hop in the battle royales. Talk a bit about my process this week. Obviously, it's going to be a little different just with all the plans this week, Christmas wise and stuff like that. But going to be pretty heavy on Justin Jefferson if I can. I think if I get the 3 pick or the 3 or after, I'm going to try to take JJ every time I can. In the underdog drafts at least. But besides that, I don't have a ton of big stands, but I think this Miami-Dallas game is you just get your pieces that you can on that game. Just don't think twice about it. Get as much Miami-Dallas as you can. And then obviously Justin Fields, DJ Moore is very, very popular, very chalky. So you're going to have to get unique around that if you're going to play that, especially on underdog. But yeah, we'll play around some stuff. I haven't looked at the DraftKings slate too much, but we'll take a look at that after this, after a couple of battle royales we do here. Yeah, we're excited about playoff best ball and the playoffs of the regular season for best ball. So we got some bullets to the semis. Fingers are crossed we can get one across the lines. Guy took Rashad White in the first round. Interesting. I guess that's not bad. You just pull them up 4 spots. Fair enough. It's just interesting. It's really hard to decide what you want to do in terms of just the best options. But I don't know. I don't think I could take Rashad White first over Tyreek Hill, Lamb, JJ, and Monra. Don't think I could do that, but it gets unique, I guess. Yeah, this is. I mean, to this point, it's been my best year. It was my highest volume year as well, but it's been my best year so far. Just overall, with advancing and getting to the semis, which is partly because of the players I took, but also some luck involved in getting on the right players at the right time. So pretty excited about that. Fingers crossed that I can get one to the finals, just so I can have one sweat for next week to enjoy and see what happens with that. But we'll see what happens this weekend. Definitely just hoping for the best there, but really awesome to get one team in. So it's the finals of any tournament, really. So we'll keep you guys updated to that. Maybe we'll fire up something. Maybe we'll be able to fire up something next week and talk about it, and maybe even break it down while the games are happening. Be fun. I'd love to do that. Have the games on in the background and have the recording up just for you guys to come watch. Hey, come here. So he was snooping around the bathroom trying to go to the trash can. Come here. Come here. I hope everyone's having a good holiday and everyone's staying safe and healthy and all that stuff and having a good time with family this weekend. I know I would definitely be enjoying some time with the fam most of the weekend, so I'm really excited for that. So Trevor Brown went number 9. let's get Gibbs. Pittman, he's got a shoulder injury as well, which is really surprising. I don't really know when that happened, but I guess it did at some point. So, yeah. My favorite scroll down right now is Chuba. He's definitely not going drafted every time, and I think I'm just going to be hammering him as this slate wraps up. But let's go Rashad White, DK Metcalf. All right, so we go tight end here. We got Jahmyr Gibbs, Hill. We go Laporta double. I don't really like playing the premium on him, but let's do it. I haven't done this yet, so let's give it a go. I never like buying the tight end after like their big game, but I think it's not a bad play just from how Gibbs' usage has been awesome, and then obviously we have pretty big advantage in just terms of that game environment should be pretty good. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and take a look at that game environment. I think it's like a 40, 45 plus total on that one. There we go. 47-point total. So we did have a 50-point total, but it did come down. So it went back up. So it was 49.5 last time I checked on my stuff, but looks like it went back up a bit. So at this point, I think I might be fading JT this week and just hoping he doesn't get there. I know Falcons have a decent rushing defense. All those games end up being pretty drunk, the Indianapolis games. So hopefully it stays in check. Really fading the JT explosion for sure. But we'll see what ends up happening. Do expect him to be a solid option given the fact he's just one of the most talented running backs in the league and coming off injury. So this is probably a good Goff team. Just the way I'm building this one makes a lot more sense to go with Goff, and then maybe I go back to the Addison well, but seems a little thin for my liking. Let me throw some music on for you guys here. Yeah. Love my fam this week. Gonna be doing that, but also keep a little side eye on my team. Check them out, hoping that they get through. But I'm gonna try to enjoy the time of the fans as much as I can. But I will be for today and tomorrow. I'll be trying to get my entries in for like these tournaments, and then getting my other lineups finalized, so I can make sure I don't have to worry about that. But I'm glad I could get this in today on Friday. Losing track of the days this week's been crazy, but Friday today, so gonna be trying to get it all done then. Okay, so kind of like going Amari here. So let's go Amari and then take Goff and then take Chuba with the last pick. I think that kind of makes sense. The double running back feels a lot better than triple receiver this week. It gets pretty bad at receiver. Like down here, like you get to Godwin, Wilson, Hopkins, London, and then like after that, it's pretty gross. Obviously, I love JSN. Always like JSN. Always like Lockett. I think those are two good scroll downs this week too, JSN or Lockett. But it just gets pretty bad. And then as opposed to that, like you got these options up here where you can go like Achan's good, Baller's good play, Bijan, Aaron Jones looks good, Chandler looks good, Kenneth Walker. You can make the case for Henry, you can make the case for Monty, you can make the case for Chuba, you can make the case for James Conner, Devin Singletary, Jerome Ford, Roshan even, and then that's when it stops. Like it goes pretty deep in terms of running back. So kind of makes you want to make some variety builds. I think like going 2 running backs early, then going 2 receivers late is good, and then you could do like vice versa. But like you really can go at whatever options you want if you just try different things. So I'm not going to have a Minnesota bring back. I don't think they need to be pushed. They weren't pushed last week, really, and they all had a massive game. So why can't Goff do it again? coming off that massive Puka game yesterday. Was hoping Puka and Kyron did absolutely nuke the slate. They both did pretty good though, but definitely going to be people I'm going to be a little bit afraid of the next couple of weeks for my teams. But you can always counter, even if Kyron gets 20 or 30 or whatever, you can always counter it with a piece of your own, so you're never out of it really. But if one of them drops like a 50 bomb, then you're probably going to need them. The Rams look really good. They look like they're in form. Might be able to make a playoff run, so should be interesting. Aren't we rich yet? I don't know. Season's not over yet. You gotta wait for the bestball season to finish. I'm only half kidding because obviously, the payouts are all in week 17 or regular season full. So in terms of winning stuff, we won't know until that stuff's all done. But also, we haven't popped off in the regular season, which is, part of the game. I have not had an amazing regular season. I've stayed afloat. I've had some good, decent cashes, but nothing crazy. Nothing too crazy. But I'm alive. I have a chip in a chair on both sites, so hoping I can get one for next week as well. What's up, Christopher? Hope we're doing good as well. My teams are toast on Underdog. You got nothing left, or you have just a couple teams left? I don't know how much you did on the other tournaments. Yeah, it was hard. I know a lot of people had tough years, but I mean, it's only going to get harder as this tournament grows. So it's pretty scary to think about that. But you got to know what you're getting into with just how hard these tournaments are. Having a chance to win, X amount of money is always going to be attractive, but always comes with a territory of being, very difficult. So never going to make it easy on you. Makes you wish you did start earlier. I wish I was in best ball 3 years ago, because it just would have, not that there was a massive edge maybe, but just the fact that you could have at least had those smaller tournaments access. But I mean, there's benefits to it now. The prize pool is way bigger now. A lot more players are playing. I mean, that's also a benefit in its own. So pros and cons to it. Hoping, we got more years to come. Don't worry. Can always run it back next year. And the sad reality of it is unless you're playing a ton of high stakes stuff, it's really hard to get to week 16, week 17, let alone advance. Advancing is not easy. You still have to be in the upper echelon of your regular team has to be in the top 12. And if you're not a super volume drafter, it makes it hard. But sometimes you can have 10 bullets and do amazing. Sometimes you can do 20 and not do good at all. So the beat me up to 200 score when he won. Oh, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying the earlier you get into something is nice, just because you get experience under your belt, and you also just get to watch it grow, which we still can. It's still very, very, very early on in the roads of what best ball could be here in 5 years. So that's exciting. $200 points is a crap ton to score in the finals. That's insane. I'm not sure what won last year, or how many points Pat had, but but it's been a wacky. The first stage of the playoffs were wacky as well, really wacky. Tyreek Hill out. Stroud's been out the last 2 weeks. 160. Okay. Well, to be fair, we had one whole game wiped out, which would have probably jumped the scores up a bit as well. I don't think it would have got to 200, but would have probably raised it to 180, 170. Hoping I get JJ here, but I feel people are not letting him fall to me. Oh, nice. There you go. As I say it. I'm trying to get as much JJ as I can, because I feel this is just the ultimate spot for him. He's in a spot to go off. They playoff hopes are on the line. This is the spot where he could explode. Very low owned in tournaments. So Yeah. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I just want to, I'll talk about my teams and I'll show them, recap them regardless of what happens, whether win or lose or, whatever at the end of the season. But I want to don't get ahead of myself and be like, oh man, I'm going to have a final sweat because I could lose all my teams this week, but knock on wood, hopefully that is not the case. Give me Mike Evans. I got lucky. The best 2 offenses qualified. Everyone in the playoffs was canceled. Yeah, well, in this vein, if you're going to win this tournament, you're going to be lucky regardless. So I'm not going to poo-poo on him for that. So sometimes you run hot there. No one expected that to happen. It's just what it is. He still would have had more than likely, he may not have gotten first, but he would have still had an awesome day. But an awesome finish, top 10 finish, top 5 finish easily. That could happen again this year, which is crazy to think about, but you never know what's going to happen. Any given Sunday, just weird stuff happens in the NFL and just in general. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited for the opportunity to hopefully have a team in the finals of any contest. So I don't think I've made a finals yet. I've made the finals every year in playoff best ball, but not in the actual regular season. So I just really hope I can get one through this year. I'd be very, very, very excited for that. So, okay, so Mostert's there. Yeah, give me Mostert. Give me those 2 tutties, hopefully. Maybe gets 1 or 2, whatever. And then I kind of want to go Fergie on this next pick. I think Ferguson's in a great spot this week. Quarterback-wise, I can always go back to the Baker well. Geno. It's kind of tempting to go with a Geno, JSN type thing. Or a Geno Metcalf. Or a Geno Lockett. I think that's kind of tempting. Geno's not getting drafted all week, and you get the unique receiver piece. But these, like I said, these running backs are just way more attractive. So I feel a little more lucky for that. I really like. Well, newsflash: Best Ball Mania is a lottery ticket tournament. It is a lottery ticket tournament. So pretty much, it's like entering the Million Maker on DraftKings. It's the exact same thing. People's expectations of it are way too high in terms of thinking you have a chance reasonably. Let's do it. Let's have some fun with this one. Let's go JSN, Geno, JJ Evans, Mostert. Let's do that. Let's do another one here. But I will say there's some skill to Underdog. There's some skill to Best Ball too. You have to get lucky to get to the end on Best Ball Mania. But if you're just solid most years, that's impressive. It's definitely a different beast now. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's maybe 2 years ago, it was probably a little bit less of a lottery just because it's a little bit harder, a little bit easier to get to the finals. But since the last couple, the last year and this year for sure, it's been even more of a lottery. It's going to continue to, it's going to grow next year. The prize might be $5 million next year, and it might be even bigger. So it'll be even harder to win, even harder to advance to the playoffs too. So just keep that in mind. Food for thought for sure. All right, so give me Geno and JSN, and I'll call it good there. Playing since the very beginning of all best ball. Man, must be nice, man. I'm jealous. Jealous of you been playing since the beginning. I have not been. I've been playing since pretty early, but I've not been playing since the beginning. I think I started in Was that the second Best Ball Mania? But I only had like 10 teams or something. I didn't play a lot. So I played more last year, and then I even played less. I played less BBM this year than I did last year. But I played other tournaments more. Never thought it would turn into this. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Kudos to Underdog and all of Best Ball, like people that just kind of propelled this game forward. So, but I mean, my favorite part is yet to come. Like playoff Best Ball is literally my favorite, but now like I might be able to find like more excitement in like week 17 if I can make it there. So, knock on wood, fingers crossed to get there. So, let's do a couple more of these. Let's go DJ more. Cake from us sickos drafting ESPN in March. Yeah, we're all sickos. Bunch of sickos around here, man. I hope you have a good holiday / Christmas, whatever you celebrate. It's always fun chatting with you. Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, I'll just take the chalk here. Like, I'm not going to do this a bunch, but I'll just keep taking it if I can get it. So, yeah, I'm running cold on this. All right, we'll do one more BR after this. One more BR, and then we'll hop on to the main slate on DK and then hop and make a team there. So, but yeah, it's hard, man. Best ball is hard. But the way I see it is like, home leagues have been smashing leagues. Hell yeah, love that. Some people like get crushed every year in best ball. Probably means they're not a great player. They could just be getting unlucky, whatever you want to do, but they're probably not a great player. But there's some people that are like doing really good every year. It doesn't mean they're going to make the finals every year, but they're just consistently doing well. Those players are really good. Pat followed up his winning year with 8 teams into the semifinals, which is insane. So you kind of have to give him his kudos for that, for just being a good player, being sharp. And we already know he was smart to begin with, so mad respect there. Let me give me a CD Lamb share. I don't know if I want to take Hill every time. One. Running back smash this week. Honestly, there's so many freaking running backs in like amazing spots, so it's hard to say. All right, give me Roshan. Oh, wait, I don't want to do that on this. Okay, just kidding. Give me H-An. Give me H-An, and then let me scroll down and grab Chupa again. And I'll go to Evan Ingram, tight end. This will be... Give me Rashad White and Rashad White McEvans again. I'll grab CeeDee Lamb here. Running back smash. Honestly, there's so many freaking running backs in amazing spots. I mean, Gibbs is in a good spot. Mostert's in a good spot. I like Mostert and H-An both. I think H-An's like my favorite, but I love H-An regardless. So I think JT's in a decent spot as well, just because he's back. Bijan, if you're into pain, watching Arthur Smith do weird stuff. Pollard's in a fine spot. I love Chuba a lot as a late round guy or a lower owned guy. Roshan could be good if Foreman's out. Roshan could be like sneaky because Arizona is really bad against the run. Kind of a sneaky play there is Roshan. Monty could get some work then. Minnesota's not amazing against the run. Ty Chandler come back, even if Madison's there. I think Ty Chandler's a good play. Aaron Jones is a good play. Like all these running backs are in good spots. It's the funny thing. So there's really, you can make the case for all these running backs. Whereas when you look at receiver, it's like it gets pretty bad. Like Hopkins against Seattle with Tannehill. Nico Collins against Cleveland with backup quarterback. Drake London with the backup quarterback. Like it's pretty bad. But these running backs are all like in pretty attractive spots. So my answer to that is there's a lot of running backs in good spots this week, which is kind of a cop-out answer, but it's just the truth. So many quarterbacks in just like smash spots. or running back, sorry. Yeah, let's stack this game up here. Pollard and Brees. I don't have a lot of Brees. Let me get more Brees shares. Detroit, Minnesota is a very attractive game that, like, in a dome, just looks like a very good spot. So if you're gonna give me like a choice, it's gonna be Achane, Chuba, my top running backs, so these late guys. And then if you're gonna make me pick an early guy, it'll probably be like the likes of Gibbs. So my answer to that is Gibbs, Achane, Chuba. Aaron Jones is also in a good spot. So there's just so many options. It's crazy. Give me Dak and Waddle. I think there's more viability this week to, like, especially on this main slate, there's a little bit more viability in, like, stacking games up because, like, the games aren't very pretty and there's a lot of, like, gambling on Mullins. I'd probably play Mullins a little bit, yeah. I think there's, like, a lot of spots that could really go bad. Like, you could see this Cleveland-Houston game being low, very low scoring. Obviously, this one speaks for itself. This one speaks for itself. You know, this game could go off. This game could go off. Maybe a little less from Jacksonville's side if, you know, T-Law's out. I mean, this game could go off. Could be really gross as well. This is the only game I really see has a good chance of going off, but it's just, you're paying a premium for it. This game could be interesting too, but it's just one of those weeks where one game goes off, similar to that Houston. I had a good week that week where the Houston Tampa Bay game went off. Didn't quite get there because I didn't have a lot of Tank Dell, but you know that game gets there, it really changes the slate in a big way. So let me go. Evan Ingram still there? No. Let's do this. Let's do one off Kyle Pitts. Like, a lot of these games could just disappoint, and then one game goes off, just like that one week where most games were like okay. And then if you had a big piece of the Houston Tampa Bay game, you were looking really strong. So I think it's like a similar, maybe a little bit less so this week, but like if you get that game that goes for 55 points and you have 4 or 5 pieces of it, I think that's very viable. Especially Dallas, Miami, like you could really jam all the starters here and you can have a very good lineup. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. Like I'm going to grab Fergie if I can and grab Achane as well. So this could be a very interesting lineup. And then I'll do like a one-off like Chuba probably. That's what I'll probably end up doing on this team. Or a one-off Aaron Jones, one-off Ty Chandler. Yeah. This is a fun one. So we got Dak, Achane, Lamb, Waddle, Ferguson. Like this, they could easily all have solid games that could win you a tournament. Bears D too good for Fields to smash. I think Bears D is an interesting play. Just because I think on both sites, Fields and DJ Moore is going to be extremely popular. So I'd say probability versus like chance of success, fading DJ Moore and Fields is probably not the worst decision, or playing in a different way, like going only Fields with Mooney or Kmet. It could really be leverage that you want this week. Not that I don't love Fields and DJ Moore because I think they're both awesome and I like their spots this week, but if it's going to all condense to them, it's really hard to get a path to winning if they go off and you're holding hands with 50% of your best friends. You know, you got to think about those things in tournaments. Sometimes chalk is a good chalk, but if you play it always, it's harder to win if you just play chalk blindly. Fields DJ Moore hits, you still have to hit the other parts of your lineup or else you're not getting anywhere. Which it could be like, okay, you know what? Fields DJ Moore is like the best spot ever. I'm just going to jam it in and then play different otherwise. But if Fields DJ Moore fails, then you just already lost. Then again, if it gets there, then you know you're able to share your winnings with your closest friends there. Yeah, that was good. D crushes disaster for quarterback. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Bears D goes off, that could really hurt the Field DJ Moore stuff. So kind of a sharp way to play it. If you plan on fading DJ Moore Fields, it's like if you get a pick 6 on Kyler, it could make a big difference. Speaking of that, man, Marquise Brown, dude, I had so much Marquise Brown. I always grabbed Kyler, Marquise Brown, McBride, Wilson. Like, just, man, that's the biggest rug pull. So big miss on Marquise for me this year. Obviously, I was big on McBride and Murray, so that was nice. I have a couple teams that could benefit from that, but I mean, man, talk about a disaster is the Marquise Brown stuff this year. Anyways, I have a lot of notes for next season that I'll be going over the offseason, so look forward to that as well. But yeah, let's head over to DK now and talk about that slate a bit. All right. Let's head over there. Somebody charges that crush me. Yeah, there's positive and negatives to being heavy on teams. So that is all I'll say about that. Let's get in this. I already entered my contest, pre-entered my stuff this week. So that helped. I didn't have to put any more into DK because I got my best ball payments from DK. So I was able to just hop right into these tournaments. So yeah, Herbert, Mike Williams, all that stuff really sucked. It's unfortunate. But that's the game we play, man. You go high owned on someone, you got to be willing to take the risk. I was high owned on J.K. Dobbins. That didn't help me. I was high owned on a lot of players that really, like Kendrick Miller is legitimately my highest owned player right now, even in advancing contests. And he's done literally nothing all year. Just goes to show you those late round picks don't hurt you as much as the early ones do. It sucks. It's like being heavy on teams very similar how the young ones here. Yeah, I mean, pros and cons. I don't know if I would use his model as like a way to repeat because he's just picking the team that he likes over and over again, which usually isn't like amazing process. But you know, when you pick the right team, then you're good to go. So respect to that. You know, you can follow your guns and then just pop off. That's pretty awesome. So respect to him for that. I just like having like a good spread where like one person isn't going to kill you because I just want to have like those options. But I don't mind taking stands on guys, especially going late. Like if you want to take a stand on a guy past pick 150, that's where I think you make your stands, in my opinion. Like I don't want to take a stand on only taking Justin Jefferson in the first 5 picks next year. Like I don't think I want to do that. That's not a bad bet to make, but what if Justin Jefferson misses 4 weeks? Then your whole portfolio is just toast. You know, I'd rather mix and match. Maybe you're like, okay, I like JJ more than all these guys. Maybe I'll go 25% JJ. You know, maybe you can reap the benefits that way. But it's just really tough. And then even then, when you make the quarterfinals and you still have that consolidated exposure, you end up with the same situation. Like, okay, JJ has a down week. I literally lost all my teams. They're wiped. You know, you can have the world where you thread the needle so tightly where you have JJ pop off every game all the way through and you win everything. And you had 80% JJ. Okay, that's awesome. Not the worst bet to make, but just not one that I'm wanting to make. I can hang my hat on other stuff and still make like very risky, adverse like bets on players where I could still benefit in that way. Like I'd rather go 80% Rashee Rice. In hindsight, obviously it worked out, but like that's a pick 100 plus pick on, you know, the Chiefs. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. Like I had a lot of Rashee Rice, but I definitely didn't have 80%. So last year only 2 that are starting over Scar. This year have to be starting. Yeah, that's been a big factor this year, like bigger than people realize. So, but I mean, there's no sample size large enough where we can predict what's going to happen. So I'm never going to try to do that. I can't predict. Maybe next year 12 running backs get hurt in the first round. Well, how's that going to change stuff? Well, it's too late to change it because the season's already started, you know? So can't be too overreactive, but it is something to think about. Just like the way the season went and like what would have been different if A-Rich stayed healthy, if Kirk Cousins stayed healthy, if Justin Herbert stayed healthy, if Joe Burrow stayed healthy, like what would these teams look like? What would the difference be? So, yeah, a lot of crazy stuff happened, which is why it's fun to me. Like I like the craziness of the contest. But all right, let's get this going. Lollygagging. I got some stuff to do after this, and then yeah. Let's do a Seattle stack. I think this makes things really interesting if you can get like a good hit on these guys early. So you get the Geno, JSN Metcalf, and then let's go with. Play the hits, get our H-Hand in there. Let's get JJ in. Play the hits. Just, we're playing the cover boys. I got H-Hand and JJ on the cover. We're going to put them in our lineup today. So play the hits. Have fun with it. I think McBride is probably still too cheap. Probably worth taking a chunk of him. Tucker Kraft's probably decent. We got Kyle Pitts. 3,500 to first. So this is where I'm kind of stumped. Maybe Fergie's the play. I think Ferguson's awesome this week. A high total game. He's been getting tons of red zone work. I mean, I don't see why he can't go off this week. But in that same vein, I also like CD Lamb. So I think this is kind of fun, especially if Foreman's gone. Like Roshan could be like a sick play. Like I might be hammering that this week. Like maybe not. Maybe in DFS it'll be better, but I don't know. Probably very tempting because I mean Arizona is really bad against the ground game, and if you get Roshan scoring 2 touchdowns, that craters a ton of Justin Fields chalk. Kind of tempting. What's the spread of that game? -4. So Cardinals are expected to score some points still. Should be a good game. At least I hope it is. Evans going off. Baker's a great stack. Yeah, I mean, that just went off last week, though, to be fair. I don't like chasing stuff, personally. I mean, Evans didn't go off. I think Evans is always a good pick. So I'm in lockstep with you there, Christopher. Baker's Evan White on. Yeah, I mean, Baker's been awesome this year. I am very happy to have some Baker shares alive. He's been sick, dude. And the Jacksonville secondary is pretty bad. So I'm probably not going to roll out any Tampa Bay stuff here, but I will probably run either a T-Law stack or a Baker stack on my DraftKings. I'll probably be running one of those for sure. So I'm with you there. Godwin had his one-off week this week. Maybe go back to Evans. Go back to maybe go Evans Ingram with Rashad White. Maybe go Evans Ridley with Rashad White, or maybe just skip the Jacksonville side because they might suck this week. I like the Bucs a lot. They've been playing well, and they're also my favorite football team. So never gonna catch me unhappy to pick on some Bucs guys. T-Law playing? I think he's questionable. He's in concussion protocol. So T-Law playing? Haven't heard that. Yeah, he's questionable. So could play, could not play, but that is just something that is relevant in terms of that game environment because T-Law plays, you obviously feel even better about the Bucs guys because there's a better chance that they get pushed from Jacksonville. So, all right, so I like this so far. A lot of plays I don't like. Getting a Geno double, I don't have any of that in my portfolio. So let's go ahead and get on to the next part of this team. Let's hit... Cleveland defense is pretty good. I'm surprised Texans defense is so expensive. That seems kind of weird. Green Bay defense on top this week. There go Roshan, Chicago defense. I mean, that kind of makes sense for this team. Jerome Ford. I don't know. I just don't like Jerome Ford's upside. He's done okay, but he doesn't really, I don't know. Doesn't really do it for me. But I will say Cooper thinking about it in like a GPP mindset, there will be a lot of people playing Cooper and Njoku, so Jerome Ford's probably a potentially sharp play there. So many plays, man. It's hard to get them all on one team. You just got to build your lineups one at a time and be like, this team's going to be painting this narrative. This team's going to paint this narrative. So I don't mind going Bears defense in that side because I'm not playing McBride. I think Bears defense makes a lot of sense on this one. So we'll go 5,300. I can go Njoku. Njoku, Dobbs, Madison, Noah Brown, Gibson, London. Maybe just go with the double tight end because, that's been the meta this year. If you've looked at like a lot of tournament-winning teams, the double tight end has been very strong. Also sad, I ripped my Chow Chow team. Got X'd out, man. I had Njoku, McBride, and Kmet, but I didn't get enough at quarterback or running back. So I would have loved to have that team still. But next year the plan is to continue to do more high stakes stuff and probably do more than I did last year or this year. So if I can kind of like ramp my high stake game up, I think that's going to help my overall play. Just getting more high stakes stuff in. Obviously, it's harder to win. Harder to get through. It's obviously you can put higher stakes on the line. Maybe you get a bounce in the first round. That sucks. But I think like just having those extra bullets where the tournaments are so much more attainable. Whereas, Best Ball Mania is the same as, grabbing a lottery ticket. Like that's how hard it is. Obviously, there's a little bit of edge because it's just full luck and a lottery ticket. But like there's a little bit of skill that involves like the players you pick, the players you take, the draft structure you make, the uniqueness levers you're pulling. Those are the ways you can get different, but you still have to get really lucky, extremely lucky. So, but there is levers to pull. Like there's players that are not good at best ball because they don't know how to build teams. There's players that are really good at best ball because they know how to build teams. They know how to make a good portfolio. They're on good player takes like Kyron Williams. They're on those guys like those sharp plays that I missed out on. I wasn't smart enough to do that. I was away from it because I was like, man, maybe he's not athletic enough. That's what everyone said, and I listened to that too much, which really hurt me. Like that was a massive mistake. I don't think I'll make the mistake again. But I remember all the people talking about it like the year before, like, oh, he's bad, he can't do anything. And I knew for a fact he was the number 2 running back. I faded it. I faded the noise. He's even a guy I was like willing to take on DraftKings, but I was just like, I'm just gonna pick Keontae Ingram or something. Like I just kept not picking him because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just try to get someone that's not drafted as much, which was the only realistic situation I had. I was like, no, he's getting drafted a lot more on DraftKings. I'll just play someone else. But end up really hurting me this year. But I'm not gonna dwell on that because the season's not over. I could still have a good season without them, but it really, really did hurt because I could have had some really even like stronger teams with them on them. So big miss there. Minnesota or Dallas D. I'm playing JJ. I don't hate that. Dallas D. I don't want to play because I'm playing Achan, playing for him to have a ceiling outcome. So won't be going that way. I'm just gonna go double tight end with Njoku and just hoping he has a good floor, like 20 points. Yeah, like there's nothing else that's very attractive. Obviously, Dobbs is pretty attractive if there's no Jaden Reed. Looks like Watson's already out. But Drake London's pretty tempting too. I like Drake London a lot this week as a one-off piece. But I'll go Njoku here. And then I'll swap Ferguson for Njoku here. Go the double tight end meta here. I've had a couple okay weeks on DraftKings. Like I was pretty close to the top one week with the Lamar blow-up game, but other than that, I haven't got there yet. So here I got 20 minutes about, so I got to go. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. 45-minute show. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Christopher, good luck this week in your season-long stuff. Hopefully you crush it. Hopefully, obviously, best of luck to all the homies doing in Best Ball Mania this week. Got Pete Overzet, Jess Liam, Pat Carane, all those guys. All the touts, all the really sharp players. Good luck to all you guys this week. Eric, Mine for just respecting the game. All the guys that I watch and I respect a lot. Good luck, everybody. Good luck this week. and crush it, man. Looking forward to this week being over. Just because, I want to see what happens. I'm very excited for just hanging out with family, of course, and everything like that. But I am excited to see what happens after this week. I think everyone feels that way slightly. So, yeah, should be an absolute blast. Definitely want to reiterate. Obviously, can't wait to spend time with family, and I've been looking forward to seeing them all year. So, very, very happy to be here. Very blessed and thankful for my situation I'm in, and just take a step back every once in a while and be thankful for what you have. And I always try to do that as well because I have a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be grateful for. So enjoy time with your family. Have a good time. Good luck with your best ball sweats. Keep an eye on those while you're spending time with family, of course. Prioritize the stuff that matters more, which is your family. But, give a little peek ski over to what's going on the good old dog app occasionally. But, everyone have a wonderful weekend, wonderful, safe time with family, friends, whatever you're doing. Just enjoy it. Spend some time, take some rest, whatever you need to do. Refresh yourself. Headed into next year. We're almost to 2024, which is crazy stuff. So everyone have a wonderful weekend. Good luck this week in all of your endeavors, and have a good Christmas, happy holidays, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.